I was raised in a Christian household, and I was very familiar with the church from a very young age. As I got a little bit older, I made a profession for Christ, and my family began to have some issues. My parents were having some marital problems, and I remember around the age of 12, 13, there was fighting in the home and just kind of a hostile environment. And as that continued on for a few years, by the time I was around 15 to 16, my parents' marriage was barely hanging on by a thread. At this point, I was full of bitterness. I was angry at my mom. I was angry at my dad. I was frustrated with God, angry at my brother, eventually just mad at everyone. And my parents ultimately separated, and that hit me hard. I eventually got into smoking, drinking, and just really hanging out with the wrong people. I really started getting into drinking. I'd fill my water bottle up with liquor, and I would keep it on me at work, and just had this huge craving and desire for anything that would allow me to forget about who I was, what I was going through, my brokenness. And I just became more and more depressed, more and more lonely, isolated. My anxiety was just unbearable. And I remember it eventually got to the point where I started self-harming myself, just anything to take away the pain that I was feeling inside of my heart. And I began thinking all the time about how I just wanted it to end, how I was tired, how I was broken. I was tired of trying when I did try. I was tired of all the stuff going on in my life, and just at a point where it needed to all end. And one day, that I'll never forget, I had this cold feeling come over me. I took a belt and formed it in the shape of a noose and hung it over a door and secured it, and was going to end my life. And I remember I texted my mom and told her, and then I tried to take my life. I woke up on the floor, choking and coughing and mad, confused, and the first thing I did was get up, and I didn't have a car at that time. I started walking to the liquor store. My mom was coming down the road, and she pulled over and asked me to get in the car, and at that point I was so tired, I just got in. And she told me that she was taking me to the hospital. So I went to Wake Med, where I was immediately checked in. I was told by my doctor that in the morning I would be going to an inpatient rehabilitation center. And the next morning I was checked into Triangle Springs and given an evaluation to see where I was currently at. And I remember I started praying again for the first time ever, and the first time in a long time, and reading my Bible every day. I remember I'd sit in the shower for a long time, just crying, calling out to the Lord and praying, and just saying, Lord, come and fix this brokenness. And in my time there, the Lord began to work in me, and something started to change. And in that, I found the Lord, and I found healing. And in coming out of the hospital, I had some different men in my life who really poured into me, really encouraged me to continue to seek the Lord, continue to read the Bible. And I got involved in church again. And in being around people who loved the Lord and just continually encouraged me, prayed with me, told me to, keep coming to church, keep reading the Bible, I really, really, really found healing. And ultimately, the Lord just changed my life. I had an awakening that I wasn't too far gone, that God loved me, and He wanted to come in and change and fill this hole in my heart. And the most beautiful thing about that is I didn't have to do anything. I just had to open myself up to what the Lord wanted to do. And now I have victory in Jesus.